Hello, hello, and welcome to my week ahead forecast for the week of the 29th of April through to the 5th of May, 2024. And can you believe we're already in May? Well, anyway, this week we should experience some uplift from the last week, which was full of, I don't know about you, but I had many, many traumatic events. And it was definitely one of the most challenging weeks that I've had for a while. So anyway, this week we have Venus coming home to Taurus and Mars coming home to Aries. So here's our vitality and comfort coming back. Yay. All right, let me share my screen and we can get straight into it. And while I'm doing this, I would like to ask you to subscribe if you like my week ahead or my dailies available. And like and share if you think that someone else that you know might like them too. Okay, so let's have a look at Monday. Straight away, we are finding ourselves in a serious place. All right, so we've got the moon in Capricorn who wants to get the business done, and the sun now in Taurus, and they are grounded, they are logical, they are business orientated, they are functional, and they are getting the job done. All right, so that's a great day for us where we can find ourselves in a place where we can um take our thoughts seriously, all right? So Mercury is now direct. However, I mean, it's still quite slow. It's only Monday starting to pick up speed, all right? And we still, like I said, we've got those changing planets this week. Mars is still in Pisces, conjunct Neptune, which is why we are so exhausted because our planet of vitality is next to Neptune, which just dissolves boundaries. And, it's good for active participation in, say, manifesting or, actively moving towards your dreams or thoughts. And Venus at that last degree of Aries. So she's in a bit of a feisty, come at me, bro mood. So, like if we're sort of, Venus moves at 9:30 p.m. on Monday night. So she's like I said, she's a little bit feisty. Mars is a little bit hazy, and the sun and the moon are like, let's get this done. So we can definitely Mercury has done its review. It's moving forward now, so uh we can take what we've been thinking and look at it and know that we can actually do something with it this week. All right. So it's about just um being okay with taking what we're thinking seriously. Sorry, as you can see, Mercury is still very stationary. It is direct, but still tripping my words, although I trip over my words anyway. It's just me. Anyway, so Monday, we can take ourselves seriously. We can look at our plans and know that we can do something with them. However, let's move to Tuesday because that is a much better action-orientated day. All right. So Tuesday, we still have that moon in Capricorn coming up later on Tuesday to start its conjunction with Pluto. So yeah, we've got the moon trine Jupiter and Uranus. This is great. All right. So yesterday we were like, yeah, we can take ourselves seriously. Today we can actually start taking some real action. All right. So things like what do you need to get in order? Do you need to ring people, send emails, do Google Docs, get some outlines for your ideas on paper? Do you need to ask questions? Do you need to, you actually start taking action? All right. So yes, we've been in this dream review state, but now Venus is home. All right. So she's much more comfortable and secure. She'd moved into Taurus, where rather than wearing her Xena warrior outfit, she is now wearing silk pajamas and comfortably working from home on all the things that she needs to address. So yes, the moon is very serious, being ruled by Saturn, but Saturn's in Pisces. So Saturn's like, yeah, chill out. As long as the top half, when you're on screen, looks like you're in business mode, doesn't matter if you're wearing trackies or silk pajamas in this case. All right, so again, we are at Tuesday. So yeah, just get the job done. All right. So it won't be until actually after lunch that the moon starts to conjunct that Pluto. But again, we're moving towards transformation. And if you look at that Aquarius as looking at the big picture and our future dreams and orientation, we're just getting there. All right. But we've got to be comfortable while we're doing it. You know, again, Mars is at that 29th degree in Pisces. Is exhausted after the marathon swim that he's had for the last however long he's been in Pisces, and it took a lot out of him to be conjunct Neptune. So get as much as you can done on Tuesday, knowing that the cogs are turning, the wheels are starting, momentum is here. All right, so let's move it forward to Wednesday. All right, so now Wednesday morning, the moon moves into Aquarius at 1:19 a.m. All right, now for today is a trigger warning all over the shop. All right, so we have Mars moved into Aries at 1:30 a.m., so only 11 minutes after the moon moved into emotionally disconnected Aquarius, whereas Aquarius is way more concerned with the big picture rather than the emotional ramifications. It's like we have a job to do. It is ruled by Saturn. All right. So when Mars is now in Aries, he is doing the thing. All right. He's at the front line. He's like, right, it is my mission. Venus is very comfortable and self-assured. She knows her worth, or she's remembering her worth. Her adrenal fatigue is probably calming down. Venus rules the hormones, and in Taurus, we are concerned with our thyroid. So, Mars is amping up those adrenals, whereas Venus is sort of calming down a lot. All right. So, now Venus also moves into a square with Pluto on Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. All right. So now again, sorry, I'll go back to the beginning. Wednesday has a massive trigger warning. All right. So not only do we have the moon square the sun, which means the moon is going into its last quarter phase. So Pluto is standing here, all right, with the moon, watching it, ushering it into that last quarter underworld depth as we watch Mars come up out of the water. He needs to sort of, shake all the water off and come back into his testosterone-filled vigor. And we also have that Mercury coming out of his retrograde phase, where he might still be a little bit sleepy, but at least he's moved off that 15-degree mark. He's at 17, and also feeling quite feisty. So there's some great potential here, but it comes with a lot of depth. All right. So, and that square to that Venus square Pluto at 2:30 is Venus making some decisions and putting up some solid boundaries. All right. So the other day we had Mars losing all its boundaries. Today we have Venus taking a stand because things need to happen in a certain way so that everybody, Aquarius, is looked after. All right. So again, Venus knows her worth and she knows what is good for people's security. All right. So boundaries putting up today, adhere to them, because Venus will not be messed with in this circumstance. But knowing that on this Wednesday, Pluto is very, very influential. Okay. Hence, trigger warning. All right. So let's move forward to Thursday. Wow, Thursday already. All right. So now today we have the moon squaring that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction and sextile to Chiron. All right. So, but there's also a trine to Lilith. All right. And Lilith has been hanging out down here with the South Node. So by Lilith speaking up those things that she would normally not have said in relationships, right? Because they are in Libra. And we've just had that eclipse thing where codependency and independence were highlighted. So with Lilith there, if we were made aware of the way that we are codependent in relationships, or that we restrict ourselves in relationships because of the old stories we've been told about what we should and shouldn't do, then Lilith there speaking up has us very aware, all right? So that Jupiter, the awareness that we have, and the change that is necessary, all right? So in modern rulerships, the moon is actually being ruled by Uranus, all right? So we are taking measures to change things through our awareness. All right. So be careful that you don't fall back into old patterns of behavior. And if you mean no, then don't say yes. All right. Here's where we may feel pressured into acting like we once did. Now, I don't know if you remember last week, I was talking about not doing the things that you automatically do even when you're not asked to do them, to see who says something. That was the experiment, to see how do you go out of your way for people that don't appreciate you in the moment. All right. Does it take you stopping and making those boundaries for people to notice that you are actually giving them a lot of assistance that they weren't acknowledging? So here we are today going, are you falling back into those old patterns of behavior? Or can you release that old story, repression, codependency? Okay, so boundaries create safe environments for you to function in. All right, so you deserve to feel that safety. And again, it's an awareness, it's very much an awareness of, that bigger picture, what's going on around me. And I love the fact that we have that emotional detachment to assess the situation, to respond to our environment, and not just react in a way that we would have previously. Okay, so that was Thursday. Yay. All right. So we're now going into yep, no, I spoke about Mars in Aries and Venus in, okay, so we go, sorry. All right, Friday. Okay, so Friday, yay, the moon moves into Pisces. Ah, take a big deep breath. All right, so it moves into Pisces at 4:52 a.m. on Friday the 3rd. And it's going to definitely bring a little bit of relief. Okay, so now on Friday, the Pluto goes retrograde at 3:45 a.m. So, like I was saying, Pluto was very influential for the most of this week. Now Pluto goes back into his underworld space. He goes back inside, where we get to again assess how we can transform our inner landscape. All right. So the moon in Pisces is giving us a little bit of a spiritual perspective, that bit of that subconscious narrative coming out to play. So it'd be a good day to take a minute to reflect on what you've learned and your connection to it. Okay. So we can definitely get some work done, even though we're in a potentially lazy because of this moon sextile Venus, they just want comfort, security, and dreaming. But if you do have to get some work done today, try to make it small, little jobs, bit by bit, that will, if you do have to get a big one done, you've got that sense of accomplishment that will just help you sort of, the moon is moving towards Saturn, which is exactly conjunct Saturday morning, but you can still derive some sort of discipline out of there. You just need to put your mind to it, remembering all of these cogs that are turning. Okay, was there anything else for Friday? No, let's move forward to Saturday. Oops, that's Sunday. Okay, Saturday. All right, so we wake up, and as you can see here today, we have the moon and Saturn uh, exactly conjunct at 9 a.m., 51 and 53, so pretty much. And we also have that Pluto sextile Mars. All right, so Mars is now willing to do the grunt work. All right, so he's at the forefront of the battle. All right, Pluto is assessing the landscape, and him as more of a general that dictates, because he is a god. I mean, Mars is a god too, but Mars is a young god as opposed to Pluto being an elder. All right, so Pluto is assessing the field, the war field, and Mars is rallying the troops and getting everybody back up to be enlivened. Saturn here is standing in front with Pluto, and he's doing that talk where generals get out in front of their legions, and they're like, we're going to do this because it's something we believe in. And everyone's like, yeah. So today, success is an internal choice. All right. Success and momentum and getting stuff done in life is seriously about you putting all of the pieces together in your life and seeing what they are for you. And it's a picture made up of your many decisions and experiences in life that help you get to that state or that status where you acknowledge your own worth and your ability to lead as well. So yeah, it's a Saturday, but this honest observation that we're having about our self-development and our personal awareness is yeah, it's a really good day. I like this day. It's about us being aware of what things to pick up and what things to put down. I mean, as far as Mars goes now for the next month, oh my God, definitely a time to get back into your weight routine. Mars needs to exert some energy through exercise. All right. He can be quite brash and impulsive. So, try to channel this excess energy that you may be feeling, like I said, through active walking, fast walking, whatever, whatever exercise modality that you choose that has you exerting some effort. Mars does love iron. So if you are lifting weights, then perfect. Okay. So let's move forward to Sunday. Excuse me. Okay. Now, Sunday morning, the moon moves into Aries at 6:41 a.m. All right. So we wake up. All of my days are set for 9 a.m. Tasmania time. So, right. So now today we have not only the moon in Aries being ruled by Mars, who's like raw. It's also coming up to conjunct Mars at 12 o'clock. But first we have that sextile to Pluto. So the moon sextile Pluto at 10 a.m. All right. So this could be bringing up some stuff that needs to be dealt with. All right. So there's a lot of energy. So we're watching out for irritating circumstances so that we can be honest about what's coming up for you. And remember that everybody is trying to navigate this thing that we call life. Right now, in general, the sun is coming up to, sorry, Venus is coming up to conjunct the sun, and the sun is also sextile, in a growing sextile to Saturn. So, this is why at the beginning of the week, I was like, this momentum is really starting to pick up. We can feel really good about ourselves. And the sun is also in conjunct South Node. So that's just that adjustment required, finding that center to find balance, to release those things that need to be released. Mercury is also conjunct Chiron again. All right. But this third hit allows us to be much more rational about what we do with our memories. All right. That first hit, which was around the beginning of March, we might have been in the feels about what we thought about our past. That second hit, which was only the 16th of April, we might have been able to assess that situation better because we were coming at it from how has it improved or strengthened my life. And now we are moving forward going, all right, what did it give me and how can I utilize these old experiences? All right. So it's a much different energy. But you need to be honest. All right. You need to be honest. You need to be comfortable. You need to be willing to do the work. All right. So let me just stop my share. Okay, so I'm excited for this week because, like I said at the beginning, last week was hard for quite a few people. This week we definitely have this momentum starting again. So big deep breath, be honest, and don't fear having a good hard look at yourself, your reactions. Remember, we're trying not to fall into old patterns of behavior, and yeah. If you are in a position where, you did have a rough week, or if you just want some clarity, reach out. You can go and find me at Lifetime to Level Up at 8:30 a.m. Monday to Saturday on Facebook. I post my videos to YouTube, which you can comment. I always answer. And or you can go to bridgetsastrology.com.au to click the booking link, or just reach out on any of the socials. I am available. So yeah, thanks again if you're still here, and I will see you next week.